Hello there friends, welcome back to another episode of Generation Tech. My name is Alan. 4 years ago when I was only 9 years old, I did a top 10 bounty hunter video on Generation Tech. And honestly, immediately after releasing that video, I read some comments and I already wanted to change my list back then. And now with the Mandalorian and Book of Boba Fett series bringing a lot more bounty hunting lore to fans, I thought it'd be a great time to come back to that list and revise it. The IG series, best showcased by individuals like IG-88 and IG-11, were missing from our top 10 list last time around. I think Aura Singh occupied that spot last time because of her marksmanship abilities and slight force sensitivity. But the IG series is everywhere. They're prolific. They're designed by the intergalactic banking clan primarily as asset retrieval bots, but let's be honest, these are assassin droids. These bots were armed to the teeth with a variety of weapons, including a built-in detonator for self-destruction. The IG series were terrific at engaging multiple targets from multiple angles all at the same time. This is because their bodies could articulate and spin a full 360 while wielding multiple weapons. Your bounty might be able to outsmart an IG series, but they probably won't be able to outgun one. So if you want a job done right, the IG series are dependable and consistent at hunting down their targets. Heck, IG-88 was almost successful at taking out Darth Vader once. Next up on our list is Trandoshan Prime, Bossk. Trandoshans, as a race, have been taking a beating in the recent Book of Boba Fett series. As a species, they seem to have shrunk and become more docile. They're basically just toy things for the Black Kirsantan to rip apart. Which is cool, I guess. I love seeing the rivalry amongst different species. But we all know that Trandoshans are quite dangerous in their own right, especially Bossk, one of the most famous Trandoshan bounty hunters in the galaxy. Bossk stood a head taller than most Trandoshans, and he was as fast as he was strong. Like most Trandoshans, Bossk worshipped the scorekeeper, who was basically like this giant game warden in the sky who rewarded Trandoshans for killing more rare and dangerous game. The fact that Boba Fett would always rely on Bossk during his earlier missions shows us just how solid of a fighter Bossk is. Oh, and then I mentioned that his primary weapon is a Relby V-19 micro grenade launcher, which means that Bossk only uses explosive ammo, which actually could be a good thing or a bad thing. Bossk still makes the cut this time around at 9th place, but he actually dropped from 6th place and replaces Suki, who was on this list last time. She's that Zabrak bounty hunter with a heart of gold and a very cool looking gunship. The Black Kirsantan was number 8 last time around as well. Back then, he was just a terrifying Wookiee bounty hunter from the comics, and now he's transitioned to live action quite seamlessly. He's just as terrifying and strong as he ever was. He's able to take on almost 24 Trandoshans at the same time and somehow survive. And while his giant hand cannon and surgically implanted electro knuckles are awesome, powerful offensive tools, what really impresses me about the Wookiee, aside from his strength, is his ability to take punishment. In the Book of Boba Fett, he's been shot, stabbed, and hit almost as many times as a fully armored Mando. Except all he has protecting him is some fur. The only problem that Santos has, in my opinion, is he can't win battles. Whether it's against Obi-Wan Kenobi or Boba Fett, the big Wookiee always comes short. Is it me, or does Fennec Shand run Boba Fett's criminal enterprise? I mean, sure, Boba Fett is the figurehead. He looks the part. He has great armor, cool-looking head scars, but when he's chilling out in his Polynesian spa tank, it seems like Fennec Shand is the individual who's actually watching out for him. Which makes me think that Boba Fett's best move post-Sarlacc pit was rescuing her. Now Fennec Shand is seen by many as just an assassin, but she's also a bounty hunter and an elite mercenary. She's decent at hand-to-hand combat and an excellent designated marksman as well. The way she took out that Pikes and Naked Commander in the last episode of Book of Boba Fett made me think, why didn't they just do that in the first place and avoid that gigantic battle? And while Fennec Shand doesn't wear much armor, she's extremely fast and one of the few individuals in the galaxy who's actually went toe-to-toe with Cad Bane and actually won. Fennec Shand is new to our list, but I'm sure she won't disappoint us in the future. She replaces the legendary Calo Nord, the KOTOR bounty hunter with an itchy trigger finger and a Napoleon complex. Din Djarin comes in at 6th on our list of bounty hunters. A member of the Bounty Hunter Guild, Din Djarin's life changed when he took on an assignment from the Imperial Remnant. The result was he gained a Baby Yoda and also a complete set of badass Beskar, making him completely invulnerable to most damage, which Mando bro really needs. Din Djarin definitely isn't the most skilled fighter on this list, but he tanks quite well and he can take repeated shots that would kill a lesser man. Plus, whenever Din Djarin gets in trouble, he has Baby Gogurt watching his back, who is quite powerful in the Force. Even though Din Djarin betrayed the Bounty Hunter Guild and ended up fighting against them, he's still a pretty decent hunter. More importantly, his honor and dedication to the job makes him an excellent hire. He's someone you can really trust. It also should be mentioned that he has access to some pretty cool tools like the Darksaber and the N1 Starfighter. We originally had Asajj Ventress at number 2, but we're pushing her back now to number 5. She'll be replacing Embo, who I know a lot of you guys like, but just didn't make the cut this time around. Asajj Ventress only gets downgraded because, let's be honest, she didn't spend a very long time being a bounty hunter, and she wasn't that great of a bounty hunter either. Remember that one time where she delivered Boba Fett instead of her actual bounty because her emotions came into play? Not a great look. But Asajj Ventress could very much be number 1 on this list because she is a Sith assassin. Although she lost that title, her training and knowledge of the Force were never lost. In her prime, Asajj Ventress was able to go up against both Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker all at the same time and survive. Simply put, if she had her lightsabers, no one on this list would be able to take her out in a one-on-one battle. Durge was the guy I forgot about last time around. You remember him, right? The legendary bounty hunter who we saw in the 2003 Clone Wars TV show. Durge was a Jedi, and their species is just ridiculous. First, they can live up to 2,000 years a second. They were almost impossible to kill because they could immediately regenerate every part of their body. And 3, their bodies were shapeless and could stretch and contort into all kinds of positions. What made Durge even more dangerous was the fact that he was being trained by a Mandalorian named Jang. Durge would go into battle wearing full body armor. This suit of armor gave his formless body a bit more shape. Once it was destroyed, however, Durge would assume his true Jedi state as a giant ball of muscles and tendons. Jango Fett still stays at number 3 on our list. He was one of the last true Mandalorians and considered one of the finest mercenaries to ever live. This is why it's his DNA that is used in the entire clone army. Jango Fett also belongs on a short list of non-Force sensitives who actually were successful at killing Jedi. And no, I'm not just talking about Coleman Trebor. There's also the Battle of Galadron where Jango Fett killed several Jedi Knights with his bare hands. We've also seen Jango Fett go toe-to-toe with Jedi Master Obi-Wan Kenobi, which also is not an easy fight. Ultimately, Jango's life ends because of a faulty jetpack. Had he not died, perhaps he could have flown to the top of our list. Cad Bane used to be number 1 on our list, and that was because no one really gave the Jedi more problems than this Duros bounty hunter. During his career, he's taken some of the most daring bounty hunting missions, like infiltrating the Jedi Temple archives for a holocron. And like Jango, he's gone toe-to-toe with several Jedi and come out victorious. And he does this all without any armor, unlike the Fetts. I mean, he does have rocket boots and breathing tubes to prevent force chokes. But yeah, other than that, this guy is just all blue flesh and reflexes. There's also the fact that Cad Bane has the fastest draw in the Outer Rim. He's beaten Cobb Vanth, who has a pretty quick draw of his own, and he's also beaten Boba Fett to the draw as well. Last time around, Cad Bane received the title of being the best bounty hunter, and that was because no one got around plot armor better than him. That was until Cad Bane was defeated by Boba Fett. I mean, sure, Boba Fett was beaten on the draw during this little shootout they had, but in the end, Boba Fett did not give up, and he grabs his gaffy stick and starts going to work. Boba Fett is definitely no longer in his prime, and with age, he's adopted a new mentality. He now wants more stability and peace. But when it comes to a straight-up fight, very few individuals have as much experience and as many weapons attachments on their armor as Boba Fett. He is the original Mandalorian and bounty hunter in Star Wars after all. Everything that seems to have followed him is derivative in one way or another. I know there's a lot of criticism about how the Book of Boba Fett was carried out and how naive and kind Boba Fett seemed to be when he encountered new criminals and murderous assassins, but I simply chalk that up to him no longer caring. He's so confident in his own abilities that He's no longer fazed by murderous scum. So I guess that's why he's at the top of this list. Well, guys, let me know in the comment section below what you think about my revision to the old list. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button down below so you don't miss out on the rest of our awesome content. As usual, thanks for joining us today. If you're watching this, you are Generation 10.